This is 2OF Entertainment.
Wow, I have a new photo.
Wow. I know. I was going to say, they got new photos up there and everything. That is
I look
awesome.
better in the intro that I look today. So maybe.
Yeah, well,
Hold on
I
a
seem
minute.
to remember
Again.
the last time I was on the show with you, Adam, you were complaining about the fact that it was like a really old photo. So
I'm not
so
complaining. I'm just saying that we have to change from time to time, you know.
yeah.
Sometimes.
So we thought
But you look good.
you know, and then you posted something. I don't know where it was. I think it might have been on Facebook. You were out for a walk, I think, with you know, with your sunglasses on, and I thought I'll just steal that. So I hope you don't mind me stealing your photo.
No, of
Nice.
course not. What?
And that's your new info.
Stealing? You're not stealing.
He's borrowing.
Well, I didn't ask
interesting-
you if I could use it. It was supposed to be.
That's true.
It was supposed to be a nice surprise for you.
It was. Now, the interesting thing is our fan, Dawn, the AWN, who usually asks us questions, we'll see if she shows up today to ask a question. So she's not here yet, but when she shows up, you know, she will show up and she will type a question and we will answer it because when Dawn types, we answer.
Okay, so this could be the dawn, a dawn of a new venture.
Dawn of Aquarius. There you go. Yeah. So Adam, you were talking about before the show when we were sitting in the green room, you know, scotch and cigars, all that fun stuff. You were talking about NFTs, and we were talking about Telegram. And you said Telegram is not a place for NFTs.
I don't know. I had Telegram for a while, but somehow then I left it.
Okay.
Well, Telegram is. I don't know. At that time, when I say at that time, I mean like 4 years ago.
Gotcha.
So, because they were telling that Telegraph is good, it's new and everything, but I went there. You know, sometimes you don't you get along with social media. Sometimes you don't. For example, I have my issues with the threads. Yet,
Right.
I don't know. You use social media. I mean, not only for.
We use Threads
in general. Do you use it?
Yeah, we use Thread. Well, we have to because of the channel, right? So we use Thread.
Yeah, but besides
the traction out of Thread. No, I don't. I'm not. If I didn't wasn't involved with this. You
use only for the show.
I don't have social media. I don't care about. And I
You're not social. You mean?
Yeah, I'm not social, but I don't care about what your kid does. I don't care you graduated high school. I don't care that you ate food. I give a rat's ass about you. If you're my friend and you know me, you'll send me a WhatsApp message like, "Hey, we did this," and I'll be like, "That's awesome. I'm glad you did it," and I'll respond to that. But I don't follow social. Could care less. Everything we do social is all for the shows.
You're a selective social media user. So WhatsApp's okay then, because that's the same. I mean, it's lots of you know.
But I only WhatsApp with people. I don't like, you know, people to send me stuff on WhatsApp or people that I know. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram. I'm not on X or whatever it's called.
Is that because of the restraining order? Is that why you're
a lot of it's the restraining order, but too, I don't have the patience for stupidity.
But maybe there's a deeper reason. I think the deeper reason might be that you don't find them meaningful because that's the topic today.
Today's discussion is all about meaning.
Wrong. The deepest meaning is he can't be asked to do it. That's what it is. You just can't find it.
He enjoys the in real life, as it is called.
Can't find his time in his busy life.
Yeah, Adam's right though. I enjoy real life. I enjoy being in the moment. I don't want to I don't need to post things when I'm doing stuff. The only things we post if I'm out. Anything, if we're having scotch and cigars, we put it on our Instagram for the channel because we have scotch and cigar fans. But really, other than that, we don't post anything on the channel except shorts and whatever on our Instagram account, which you can find at Two Old Farts Making Noises, by the way, on Instagram. So we post shorts there and sometimes funny cartoons, but nothing really personal, you know. So.
But it is true. You don't think them feel them meaningful. You don't find it meaningful to spend time there. Yeah. Although I don't okay, the term in real life, it's still real life. Everything is still real life, but you don't find it meaningful, right? So
yeah, there's no purpose.
Yeah, but before we start, because today you are in Austin, in Houston. Austin.
I'm in Austin right now.
Yeah.
You'll have a total eclipse today. How is the weather?
It's cloudy. You can't see squat. And I just played the Heart song, Total Eclipse of the Heart, because that's how I feel when the eclipse happens today. I'm not going to see it. I've already seen a couple of them because I'm that old. So I don't really care.
Yeah, but the last one was 52 years ago or something like that.
I know, I saw it.
No, they happen regularly, but all over the planet. That's the thing.
Yeah, but today it's at his place. It's at the heart.
The best place is supposed to
be
in Newfoundland or somewhere today in the US. That's the best place to see it. And if you're very unlucky, you can stay up and keep yourself awake for 3 minutes in the north of Scotland and hope it's not cloudy and just see it as the sun sets.
Can I ask?
Partially.
But who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, it's very nice. It happens all like the solar eclipse, the lunar eclipse.
No,
I've seen these when we were kids. But
it's a sign
it's a
from
physical
God.
phenomenon.
It's a sign from God. That's what.
Which God? Which God?
That was the meaning. That was the meaning many years ago when people didn't know what it actually is. That for a while, the day becomes kind of night. Or
you mark my
dark.
words. After the solar eclipse today, a certain Mr. D. Trump will claim that he organized it. Because he's already taken. I don't know if you saw the stuff over Easter, the Easter stuff. But he wishing everybody happy Easter, even the people that were persecuting him, and he even managed to repost a photograph of himself holding a Bible upside down. So no doubt, Mr. Trump will say that he organised it just to show how powerful he is. And to keep all the Christians on board. That's my.
So wait a second.
Yes,
because did he kill Jesus then? So Trump killed Jesus.
No, I think he's bordering on the. I think he would very much like to be John Lennon and say that he was bigger than Jesus.
Well, didn't you hear what he said lately? That he's Mandela.
He's
what he said.
Mandela.
He's a black guy.
Yes,
Trump's
that he's Mandela of America or something. I don't know. Or the
He's
West.
working
I don't
on
remember.
It was white, and now he's gone orange.
Does he know who was Mandela?
I don't think he knows who Mandela was. No,
I don't think he knows who Jesus was.
I don't think so.
Oh, he does. Well, he knows how to hold a Bible upside down and have his photograph taken.
Well, if you're going to hold a fable, you got to hold it upside down. So let me get this straight. Trump says he's bigger than Mandela or like Mandela?
Like he's the Mandela of the United States, something like that.
Well, he is orange.
Probably he's fighting for the human rights.
Yeah, like I say, like orange is like
the same thing that Elon Musk is saying. Because I'm making comments on Elon Musk on X because he said also that he's fighting for the free speech.
Elon Musk is full of shit, and here's why. The Brazilian government's going after him because Elon Musk is trying to take people off of X and censor what they can write. It was in the Financial Times last night. So Elon Musk is having a huge problem right now with X and the Brazilian government. So listen, I don't really care. This is my opinion. And Mr. Musk, I don't give a shit. If you don't like it, sue us. Who gives a shit? Elon Musk to me is Donald Trump's Goebbels. That's all he is to me. That's what he reminds me of. It's like, I'm going to put out propaganda.
They're a team. And maybe he will pursue a political career.
He was what Goebbels was Hitler's propaganda. He was his propaganda.
I think that if Trump is elected, Musk will get maybe he will get a position. I don't know. No, I don't think that he's too.
If Trump gets elected,
go for president in 2 years.
There's no democracy left in the United States. I'm sure Elon will be thrilled because this will become a dictatorship, and then he can spout whatever crap he needs to spout. But
he doesn't need a dictatorship for that. He's doing that already.
I know, but the Brazilian government,
because you are drifting away, I want to ask: does all those things do they have meaning?
Yes, they actually do. They have meaning about democracy.
Give me both, of course, your definition of meaning. Because for example, we have talked already.
Or the meaning of Trump?
No. In general, the term of meaning. What is meaning for you?
What is meaning?
In your words, what is meaning? And if somebody is watching, those who are watching, think about it also. What is meaning for you? If you can give a definition. If you want, you can write another comment. What is a short, or a long, if you like. What is meaning for you? Without going to ChatGPT.
Right.
I'll jump in. Words. We're not judging anybody or something, except Trump and Elon Musk.
So meaning has many different ways. Like if someone says, "What's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of that?" But meaning in general, like when someone says to me, "What's the meaning?" To me, the meaning is a purpose. What's the purpose? So I don't.
You associate meaning with a purpose.
With a purpose, yeah. Like if somebody says, "Why are we doing that? What's the meaning of it?" Or if you're in a meeting and someone says,
"What other definitions you give?"
That's all I got. It's just, to me, it's a purpose. Yeah. I have a very shallow life.
Have it?
Yeah, I mean meaning. I mean, I know a lot of mean people. I don't know if that's an extension of meaning. There are a lot of people who have meanings about stuff. We were just talking about a certain D. Trump, who's full of lots of meanings.
A lot of people find meaning in what he says, and
yes,
that means purpose. For example,
we spoke about
find purpose in his job.
Yeah, we spoke about the eclipse today, or Hollywood today, whatever Hollywood day we're on this week, Stephen.
No, this is a live show, David.
This is a live show. Actually. Okay, so today is the day. So there are a lot of people who see great spiritual meaning in that. There are people who see that as, okay, this is a message that we're not alone. There's a whole load of people, preppers and survivalists out there that you say the sun's not going to relight again, and this is the beginning of the Armageddon. That's a meaning. So,
but what is it as a substance, as an essence?
Maybe I would define it as a slightly forceful point of view.
Forceful,
yeah. So
like wrong.
So you can have a point of view, but when you have a meaning about something, it's almost as if to say, "This is it." This is my meaning.
Yeah.
Might be wrong.
No, you can't be wrong.
Okay, here, let me just so we understand. According to Merriam-Webster, and I've had dinner with her, she's a lovely lady. Meaning is a noun.
She's dead.
Multiple. That's why we've had dinner. Multiple definitions. Intent, the thing that is intended to convey, especially by language. Import, the thing that is conveyed especially by language. Aim, something that meant or intended. There's a lot of intent here. Quality, a significant quality, especially the implication of a hidden or special significance. Dun, 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 dun. There's consideration, logic, consideration, the word or a phrase, and denotion, which is the logic extension of a word or a phrase. So meaning apparently there's no right answer for the word meaning.
Yeah. But if you look at US politics at the moment, there's a lot of people who have got a lot of meaning. They're out there as if what's happening is the ultimate truth.
Right.
So therefore I defend my definition of a point of view which is forcefully imposed upon or pushed towards a third party.
But it's kind of negative.
Yeah, because most people who say they have a meaning about stuff are always the people who want to preach something to me.
Yeah, but when somebody comes to you and says, "This is meaningless," what do you make out of it?
But if I don't experience that, if I don't experience that, I like opinions because it enables me to enter into a dialogue. But I have difficulty with meanings. This is my meaning. Does the statement, "This is my meaning," define it as the only way that something can be looked at or discussed?
No.
Find it.
No. Well,
No.
we try to find a kind of objective definition of meaning. I wrote something yesterday, I think, on X and other. I wrote something about also art. I wrote this: art is an expression of life. If it is meaningless, it corresponds to a meaningless life because it's the expression of life, right?
Right.
So the question now arises: does art need to be meaningful? And I say no, it doesn't.
No.
But so does life. Life doesn't have to have meaning. But
some people's
there
life
is a
don't
difference between those two, like having and not having meaning. Like when you're having a life without a meaning, without a purpose, like David said, for example, and with a purpose.
So but if you say to me then, Adam, oh, if you say, oh, Dave, your life has no meaning, that doesn't come across as something very positive.
Yes, it does not, in my opinion, of course. But I think it's kind of.
So it's like it's always this thing about why does it have to have a meaning?
Because our brains are created like this. We are meaning searching creatures. If we don't have meaning, there are implications in life. Because, for example, I agree with Stephen that one of the definition of or what the word carries is purpose also. Right. Because with the meaning, you have a purpose. Like we had the discussion about love, and I said that love gives you meaning because it gives you the force. It becomes a force that makes you to want you to wake up to.
But,
for example,
Adam, why do I experience when you say to me purpose? Why do I experience that as being positive? And if you say meaning, I experience that as being negative.
I don't know. It surprises me that you are taking it negatively. Because for me, another.
I have a purpose in life that that's almost joyful, But if somebody says, "Oh, you should have a meaning in life," that almost suggests that, "Oh, you should have a meaning in life." It doesn't matter how you say it. For me, it just
you kind of take it subjectively a little, and I'm trying to take the objective part of it, because everything can have subjective and objective meaning. Because meaning also, except from purpose, for example, for me, is also making sense of something, understand something in a way. It's also, when I say it doesn't have meaning to me, I don't understand it, for example, or I'm looking at an artwork, for example, it's either it's abstract or not. For example, it's kind of hard to find meaning in abstract art. So your brain is creating, I've said it many times, trying to create shapes and connect things so that it creates a meaning. And there it might be the subjective part of the meaning, that only I and everybody from their point of view are creating a meaning. Their brains are creating a meaning for what they're seeing, of what they're experiencing, actually.
Does that mean because some people say what's the meaning of life? So if you replace meaning with purpose, like what's the meaning
of life? What's the meaning of what you're saying? What's the meaning of Trump going into politics? What's the meaning of having very, very old leaders? What's the meaning of having wars in the world? I mean, what's the sense? How make sense out of it? What's the purpose of making wars? There are purposes. Since they are here, there are purposes. They are not. Our minds are trying to get rid of things that are meaningless to us. And also, if we don't understand something that means, from an objective point of view, it doesn't make sense to us, then we are getting rid of it. We don't care about it. We don't spend time about it. It's meaningless. I don't understand it.
But wars, the wars stimulate our economy, and the defense industry, which stimulates the economy. So wars that's the purpose of a war. Other than that, there's no purpose. Not today's day and age. Back in the day, when someone would come in and rape and pillage, they'd rape the cattle and stampede the people, then you'd have to go to war over that. But now it's like what Russia's doing in the Ukraine. That's just useless. There's no purpose for those skirmishes.
Oh, it's useless. It's useless for you.
It's useless for Russia
but
too.
But from the point of view of Putin and Russians, it's not useless at all.
The Russians aren't with Putin. Putin's the only one that thinks this is a good thing. Nobody's on his side in his world. And Hamas attacking
there are
in the Gaza
millions
Strip.
of people in America who believe that it's justified. The war is justified. There are just brothers, and it's an internal.
There's people in America who still think Trump won the election in 2020. So let's we want to appeal to the people that at least have double to triple IQ points. Okay, so you can't fix stupid, as people say, and there's no
but on the other hand, there are too many, and because we are in democracy and they have votes, they
that voter right.
They have influence on your life, and because America, it's still the strongest state in the world. It has it affects also me, for example, in Greece or in Ukraine or in Japan or in China or everywhere, in Israel, in Palestine.
The only reason is right now because everything is tied to the U.S. dollar, and in China, I know if China gets their act ever together and the RMB becomes the world currency, we will become China of the 70s. And if Trump comes into power and doesn't do something, or Biden, whoever wins in November, you almost have to, and we had this discussion the other night at dinner, a bunch of us, you'd almost have to go back to make America great again. You'd almost have to go back to put us on the gold standard. You'd almost have to say, listen, our dollar is really backed by something, not like it's good faith of the American government. Because, when Trump comes in the next term, he's going to put himself on money. And it's going to be like, oh, that's nice. So we are becoming the laughing stock just because we have a powerful military and we have this and we have that. Other countries have it too. So we're the meaning of what we used to be.
To this degree and to this extent.
Yeah, well,
so
the meaning of what
the question is then, what is there a meaning to the USA or is there a purpose to the USA?
Not anymore.
Neither.
I don't think we have a meaning or a
There's
purpose.
no meaning in the United States as a state and what it's doing in this politics, you mean?
We're not okay, let me phrase it. If in November, if the orange man gets in, we've lost democracy. So we no more have a purpose or a meaning of being a democratic society.
But he will be elected democratically. I mean, with the vote of the people.
You're dreaming. Because what he did on January 6th, he hasn't been prosecuted, and the Supreme Court is slanted his way.
He didn't do it. It was the CIA. They set it all up.
Okay, great. Them I trust.
I've heard a few MAGA people say that. So it's got to be true.
That's good. Okay, but my point is that if we lose democracy, which is what his Secretary of Defense has said, his Vice President, his Secretary of State said that he is bad for democracy. And right now, this little experiment that we've had going on since 1776 in America, which is this democracy, right? And we're not really ruled by the people. It's nice bullshit we tell everybody. But in theory, we're ruled by people and laws and votes. If he gets in, that goes away, in my opinion. And I see it with just what's going on.
Okay, what's the meaning of democracy then? What's the meaning of
freedom?
Or what's the purpose of democracy?
Yes.
Freedom. So we can all watch porn at 18 years old on the internet. No,
that's all.
That's it. That's all that democracy and freedom is.
It's a good purpose.
Is that a democratic?
This is better, just as good as anything else, right? Huh?
Yeah. We've democratically, that the purpose of the internet is to allow all 18-year-olds to watch porn. Or is that the meaning of the internet?
What's the meaning of this?
Of the show?
Watching porn, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, the meaning of watching
porn. So you see, you can take any topic, even now, we can say, what's the meaning of us talking here? You can take any topic and ask the question, what's the meaning of it? And we do it all the time without doing the question because it gets automatically, it's automatically in our brain because it is a meaning searching. Well, what does it mean this? What does it mean this? It's all the time this. So it's a mechanism also. It's a mechanism for survival in a way.
Let's go back to fundamentals then, Adam. what's the meaning of us doing this show?
That's easy.
So what's the purpose, or what sense do we make?
It's all about meanings today. So what's the meaning of doing this show?
For me,
yeah,
you're asking, or
yeah.
Well, for me, it's communication.
The
meaning of communication. We are talking here, and we're communicating. This is the meaning of it, and we are also social species, which got its meaning. That we like to socialize, we like to be with others and share ideas, talk to, share time in general, which is the only thing that we have, and then maybe change, because so there are a lot of extensions to this. So for me, this is a meaning. I like to communicate with people.
I think the purpose of the show, the way I look at it, and the meaning of the show is, one, we try to educate people, try to inform people. What I like most,
I don't think we are teachers to educate, because it would say that we know the objective truth. No, we are just talking.
We know everything. The three of us know everything. Once people figure it out, it's good. And the other thing about the show
I don't think
that
there's a human who knows everything or ever.
Listen, me and Stephen Hawking like this. Anyway, I think what I was also going to say is that's why we were like that.
He's having dinner with Merriam-Webster.
Yeah. Just say there, but the other part of why I like the show is I get to hang out with my mates for an hour to an hour and a half every Monday, and to me that's the best part of it. That's the meaning of the show. I get to see my mates on Monday, and we get to talk about stuff. Since we're separated by continents, that I get to talk to everybody, and we all get to converse.
This is also extraordinary that we can do those conversations live, being very, very far away from each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
David, we have to.
Anyone in the world now, if got internet, can connect and communicate and socialize with others.
My perspective is that actually Stephen's sitting next to me, but I might be wrong. But that's my perspective. And and I don't think
and you're sitting above me, dude.
Yeah, well, I didn't want to say that, Adam. You know what I mean? I didn't want to say that. Oh, here we go.
It's on the other side.
Yeah. So
So in general, I think that the meaning is a mechanism that is really, really, really important in life. And look what happens if you lose a meaning in life. I mean, it doesn't have any purpose. It doesn't make any sense. So what's the point on living, on go on living? And
well, that's why people kill themselves, right? Because
exactly. I was thinking the other day okay, we will be talking about meaning. Who have lost the meaning in life?
Right.
And the first one that occurred to me was Kurt Cobain. You remember, from Nirvana? He killed himself. Yeah. He was a person who had it all. He was rich, famous, talented, good-looking. Yeah. Okay. I mean, clever, everything. Everything. I mean, not everything.
Could I just say then? Obviously. Maybe he thought I've got everything I wanted, and that's it. I don't need to go any further. And so he ends it.
So he lost the meaning. He said he believed that he had everything, although he didn't, because he obviously killed himself.
Right. Yeah, but he may well have found that was the end of his. That the ultimate, he has everything. He had nothing else that he wanted to do. He'd done it. Right. You know, like the film had finished. That's it. End of. Does he have to?
I don't think that he killed himself because he said, "I have it all and that's it. There's nothing more." I think he killed himself because he lost the sense. Okay, he was a personality who was obviously dysfunctional. It's pretty obvious, and dysfunctional in a very high degree. Because if you come to the point to kill yourself, and there are people who, I don't know, lose all their money, or lose, for example, their family somewhere, and they lose the meaning of life because they lost their loved ones. So they say, there's no reason for me to live anymore.
But you have to live. Why do you have to live?
Why you have to live?
Yeah, because even if you don't want to wake up, you can lie in bed in the morning thinking, I don't want to wake up today. That's the end of it. You still, you can't wish yourself dead. It's very difficult to die if you're living.
Yes, because we're programmed to survive by nature.
That was profound.
We're
Yeah.
Very
programmed to go
difficult
on
to die if you're
to
living.
Yeah, it
be
is.
children and
It's
continue
very
the
difficult.
life.
Even the people who are terminally ill, who
Right.
don't want to pursue it any further, it's incredibly difficult. I've had the honour and the distress to have seen it a couple of times in my life, and I mean both those statements out of sincerity: the honour and the distress of terminally ill people, and it's bloody difficult to die.
Well, assisted dying, just so you know, in the UK now I think they're going to make it easier for assisted dying. I know when my mom finally got sick, she said she used to say, like her last couple of months, I wish there was just a pill I could take, so she could just pass away. I'm talking about suicides. I've had 3 acquaintances commit suicide. So I'm like, and I had talked to them, one literally 5 or 6 hours before he killed himself, the other the day before, and the other I saw like a week before. So I've had 3 people that I know that have killed themselves, and I'm just like, why? Like, why wouldn't you say something? Like, like you talk to me about everything. Why didn't you say I want to end it? And then with the dialogue we could have discussed.
If he said it to you, what would change in his
nothing, but it would be
theory
something
of the
where
world
in my
perspective
mind,
on life?
maybe I could help then. Like if somebody I know.
Well, I think that they don't believe that anyone can help them. That's the thing. That if you lose this purpose,
invariably it's the quiet ones who don't say anything, who just do it. Yeah. And the other way, if you look, the psychologists will say those who continue to talk about it are continuously crying for help, that they don't want to reach that point. And then you just read, I lost people as well, saying, taking their own lives, think, okay, absolutely no sign of what's happening. It's just, they don't have any purpose in life. They don't have any meaning in life, whatever word you want to,
no sense.
And so therefore they think, okay,
they have no reason anymore for being alive.
To this point,
to be alive, to be alive, you have to have a reason. And the question then arises.
But you said reason, but we started off talking about meaning. So
meaning is the reason is one of the definitions that I give to meaning. It's purpose, it's making sense, and reason is the same thing in a way.
But if you have family and loved ones that love you, and that would be a purpose, I would think, or a reason to stay alive.
Yes,
and not kill yourself. No, I guess not. Okay, never mind.
No, it doesn't. I don't think. I think because by the time you've reached that stage, well, that's been my experience of seeing it. That people will become so insular that there's nothing. There's no outside influences. I mean, if I shout at you guys today, you'll be pissed off, and when we finish the show, you'll be saying, "Why do you shout at me? Why were you rude?" etc., etc. Because
we wouldn't. You know us. We could care less. We'd be like, whatever.
Exactly. But even to be nonchalant is a response. But just people become so insulated, so in themselves that out of self-protection or withdrawal, who knows? But then normal standards, the normal things, you think, okay, that doesn't affect them. Because I think a lot of people say, suicide is really selfish.
But living is selfish as well, so we're kind of.
It's a lose-lose. This purpose, this meaning, this existence. Just it's whatever it is. It's a lose-lose proposition.
Yeah.
Right. Because
or win-win. It depends on the point of view.
Win-win, lose-lose. It's both actually. It's a lose-lose and it's a win-win. From the time you're born till the time you die, it's win-win, right? You're but from the minute you're born, you're going to die. So there's a losing, and then you die. So there's a losing. Or you can look at it as win. My point is that the glass is half full. Yeah. So enjoy the ride. And we've talked about this before. Enjoy the ride, enjoy the moment, because if you worry about every little thing, then you die 1,000 times. And if you don't, and you just do the best you can do, then you only die.
So we are by definition born to die.
Yes, but look what you did. You just put meaning into those things because you say enjoy the ride. So you mean find the meaning to enjoy the ride, because without the meaning you will not enjoy it. You can see millions of people with depression, and you can just go to them, hey, come on, enjoy the ride, and they will say, so you bullshit. What to enjoy when there's no purpose in my life and there's no sense in my life?
Yeah, but I think when you talk about suicide and not knowing what's going through somebody's mind, right? Because like I said, I've spoken to the people, and
we never know what's going on with the other's mind,
right?
Because it's subjectivity. You cannot enter the subjectivity.
Right, but it's like you're only here for this amount of time, unless you're a billionaire and you're trying to live forever. But enjoy the ride, whether you look at it as
but
a
if you're suffering
and
you try to enjoy that, but you're still suffering and suffering and suffering.
Yeah,
where is the meaning in
I mean, enjoy the ride maybe construed by a large section of the world population as being, a luxury problem.
Yeah.
As opposed
I think most of the people,
as opposed to every day, scrabbing around just to find food to eat.
But if you're fortunate enough to have a roof over your head and food on the table, and it doesn't have to be a 50,000 square foot home. If you have even a 1-bedroom studio or a 1-bedroom, and you have electric and you have plumbing and you have food on the table, then you are more fortunate than the one who doesn't. And for you, even though you're going to try to better yourself, you have to enjoy that part of the ride as you go forward. You can't sit there and go, I want this, I wish I had that. You have to say, I'm going to work to get whatever, but I have to enjoy this. Because if you don't enjoy that, you have nothing. You can't always, I think the problem in today's society is people want everything. And that's great. You should, right? The win-win side of it. The bad part of the win-win side is that you have to enjoy the moment of what you have.
Are you talking about materialism?
Yeah, but you have to. But it's not something that you find somewhere. Oh, this is here is a meaning to be happy, etc.
To some people, though, that is meaning. Some people having a Bugatti is the meaning of life.
Also, what about society? Do you think that? Okay, because we are still here.
Society says if you have all these things, your Bugatti, your Rolex, your Armani suit, or whatever it is that
Rolex. Those are for poor people. Nobody has a Rolex. Yeah. Stop it. That's
the only Swiss word I know. Okay. But so for a lot of people, that's I've got it. That's what it's all about. And for other people, they say no, it's got nothing to do with that. My meaning in life is to climb a mountain.
Yeah.
And why climb the mountain?
Somebody else comes. There is no meaning in life. We should die. We will die anyway. So they have empty.
Yeah, but some people's meaning in life is to help other people. If you look at somebody
of course,
like,
purpose.
You look at Sister Teresa, or you look at not any of the popes because they're just all pedophiles and kill and start wars.
Well, Sister Teresa was not a saint, also.
Right, but I mean,
she is now.
Sure she wasn't.
She is now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
you got to stoop. You got to.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, a lot of people want to help people. I mean, and I give them credit. The people that go to help, like they'll work on like an animal in Africa. They go work on a reserve to save the elephants.
Yeah,
that gives their
life. But somebody else. Okay, I mean, I will ask something else. But somebody else has a meaning in life
and purpose. Right. Yeah, but that gives their life meaning and purpose, and it's the same thing. So everybody's meaning and purpose, for lack of a better term, is different. What David thinks his meaning and purpose is to what you think yours is, and to what I think mine is with the lizard people and the Illuminati, totally different. Then we all have the three of us have a different meaning and a different purpose.
So what's a better meaning / purpose in life then? Saving a few elephants or solving poverty in the village next to the reserve where the elephants are in? Which are just there as eye candy for a lot of rich people who come on holiday in their safari trucks.
No.
So who's doing the most meaningful job there?
Equal
contribution.
It's equal. It's equal.
So it's okay. Okay. So it's all right to feed a dog, but it's okay not to feed people. Is that right?
I'm okay with that. You know why? Because it's whatever your purpose and meaning and what you believe. If someone says, I'd rather give a stray dog a tuna fish sandwich than a homeless person, for them, that gave their life meaning and purpose. Someone else may say, I'd rather feed the person than give the dog the food. And for them, that gives their life meaning and purpose. So to your point of there's a village we're going to make better, or there's elephants we're going to help, everybody has their own meaning and has their own purpose. So because of that, what they do is their own meaning and purpose. And what you do I may not look at as that you're contributing to society, but if you think you are, that's your meaning and purpose. I cannot criticize you for that ever. I mean, I can. It's fun for me, but at the end of the day, that's your meaning and purpose. That's your meaning and purpose. You can never tell somebody what they're doing isn't the proper meaning and purpose. And if you go back to the guy of the time of the unpleasantness, the idiot with the mustache, his meaning or his purpose, he thought was correct, as wrong as it was in his mind. He thought so. You could, and if you go back to Attila the Hun, and you go back, everybody has a meaning and purpose. Whether it is right, society-wise, is a much different statement and debate than we're having. But if you say I have a purpose and my purpose or meaning is to do this, people can disagree with you. But if that's what you believe it to be, then that's what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, that's what a meaning and a purpose
is. We're talking mainly about the subjective meaning, but what about the society? Okay. As a society right now, for example, in the West, because the East is a little different, but still it's been conquered in a way by the West, right? Even China, because if you look there, they claim to be like a communistic state or something like that, but it's not.
You mean capitalist, the capitalist country of China?
Capitalist as well, but in a different. But do the society has a collective meaning, for example? Because we still exist, we didn't kill each other yet. But if we do, then we will probably mean that we lost the meaning.
I think in North Korea, collectively, they have a meaning and a purpose collectively because they have one leader, they know one thing, they're told one thing.
What's
much
the meaning?
different.
The fear?
I think, right, yeah, well, whatever it might be. I think when you go to China, when Mao ran it, they had one purpose, one this, one that. And then when Nixon and Mao met, and then Mao died and Deng Xiaoping came in, I think it changed from we have one meaning, one purpose to now we have this larger meaning and larger purpose. I think in the United States you've got, well, it's not communism anymore. I think in even like in America, we have 300 million people. You think you have 300 different meanings and purposes. You have a planet, what, 8 billion?
No. There are, you can go and you can say that, for example, I look at people, I look at the NFTs scene there, and I ask myself, what's the meaning of the people to be here and say the things that they say?
Money.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Money hasn't become money, the purpose of our life. I mean, okay, it's a symbolic thing, because with money you will have fast car, big house, you can travel, you don't have to work, you have beautiful women probably, and all of those. Is this meaningful really? Because
sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you.
Oh yeah.
For me, it's what's called in I said it before.
Fast women and
society, fluid compensation. That we lost the real meaning in life, because I believe there are real meanings, like more fundamental meaning in life. For example, what we said about purpose of being alive, so that you can be of service to your children, your wife, your dog, the creatures that you love, in general. It's very meaningful for me. This, I mean, the love. We said it from the first episode of the topics. But finding money so that you don't have to work, you just be fucking lazy. Just a waste of time, just drinking and eating. There's no meaning into this for me. I mean, living just to enjoy is meaningful.
Right, it's not meaningful.
Your meaning in life is to keep other people in work by letting them produce products that you consume.
You mean with art?
No, it's capitalism. He's talking about anything, whether it's drink, art, cigars, watches, cars.
But But do you have to look after your wife and your kids and your dog and everything? What if I don't do that, does that make me meaningless or purposeless?
Well, there is. If you don't have people that you love, that you wake up and you're happy to meet, then yes, a big part of your life is meaningless. You're social. You don't have friends. You're alone.
It's not the people that I love which is important. It's the people that love me that are important.
Well, love works both ways. We talked it. So you're expecting love, not.
No, I have to work for it.
Yes, of course, everybody has to. Yeah, we have to work for everything.
If not, it's all meaningless, is it not?
Sorry?
Listen, if not, it's all meaningless. Oh, sorry, I'm just being flippant. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, okay. You give extensions and new. Well, I don't know. You tell me. But we can collectively. I would say that collectively, yes, we are creatures. We have needs. Okay. The needs. I mean, we come with needs. We come to this world with needs. We need to food. So there is meaning in eating, because if you don't eat, you're gonna die. Okay, survival mode. Next, right. You need to drink for the same reason. You need to have a house for the same reason, not to be eaten, I don't know, by animals or by the weather or something. There is big meaning into that. So survival is a very, very meaningful thing for you to be. Yes, there's a big meaning. And then if you kind of cover this, but it comes along also, you find more reasons so to stay alive and create, do things, wake up in the morning. And one of the reasons for me, as universal kind of meaning, is yes, to love, to communicate. It's very meaningful what we do right now. It doesn't matter saying bullshit. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. Yeah, what it matters is that we do it.
No, we wouldn't have a show or a channel if that mattered. That's for sure. So, this is
what?
Well, if we were worried or concerned about what people said or how they thought about it, it's
we are, because if suddenly nobody watches you because you're talking bullshit, and they start writing to you, guys, you're full of shit. You're talking nonsense all the time. There's no meaning in what you're saying, guys. They are not going to watch it. People are searching for shows to find meaning. Also, so I mean, I do it also. I mean, when I go to watch philosophical
kindred thoughts, maybe.
What?
I think meaning is a bit strong. Kindred thoughts. It's just like, oh, I can recognize something in that I hate. I can recognize something in that I like, and that's what makes it. And that's what makes
align
it
with.
Yeah, that's what makes.
But there's a meaning in finding other people who think like you, because, for example, if we had somebody and he will start talking about meaning. For me, meaning is peace, and Trump has come to the power with Elon Musk so that we have peace, and X is the only platform that it gives free speech. Suddenly, Stephen, look at Stephen. Stephen is not already on the face. So he'll get angry. You see, his meaning, his system of meaning is opposing the other.
Right, but he's got his Trump social crap going on too. So
I was so glad I paid top dollar for that when it got launched, and then looked to see what it was worth a week later. But there you go. Oh,
that was
something to do with the fact that he told a few porkies about how money he had or he didn't have, or how much was something to do with the legal documents that weren't quite right. Yeah,
but I think overall, meaning and purpose for a human being is whatever you, as a human being, yourself believe your purpose is. Like Steve Martin, the jerk, he had a purpose. He's like, I have a purpose. So it's the same thing. Whatever you believe your purpose or your meaning is, that's it. No one can say it's wrong.
Yeah, but then I ask about society. What are meaning as a collective society, not only Western, in the whole world? Why do we create societies, and why we go on? Why don't we kill ourselves just for fun?
Because here's the reason.
Without doing that already.
Yeah. Right. Well, here's the reason we don't kill ourselves. If we knew when you leave here, you go to wherever, if you absolutely knew it, like I know that, like when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to work out, right? If I absolutely knew when I pass away, I'm going to go somewhere, and you knew it was better and this and that, but you're supposed to be here, let's say, to learn a lesson, everybody would literally jump off a building. They'd be like, oh, I can go to Shangri-La tomorrow. Boom, done. Go to Shangri-La. I mean, so it's much different. So I think this little stint that we do here is just to teach us whatever. So when you go to the next spot, you've learned something. And whatever you think your purpose or your meaning is as a human being, that's your purpose and that's your meaning. And no one can tell you it's right or wrong. Not society, not a book called The Fables, not anybody. Whatever you believe your purpose is, That's
I had
your
a really
purpose and
interesting
meaning.
quote yesterday, and the guy was talking about, he was a Christian, and he said, "Yeah," he said, "Well, what's going to happen when you die?" And he said, "Well, of course, we're going to go to heaven."
Right.
And so the interviewer said, "Well, why isn't everybody just dying today if you were going to go to heaven?" Which is the point that you were making. And he said, "Well, I just wanted. I've just had. I have this conversation with God, and I said to God, well, I'm happy to come to heaven, but I want to be the last one let in." And he said, and I think a lot of other Christians share that point of view.
Well, from the Christian point of view, to go to heaven in
Mhm.
life, you have to deserve it. That's
true.
It
That's right.
depends on what you do in life. And Christianity
Yeah.
gives a meaning. It says, don't kill each other, praise your God, and
Well, I
all
don't.
those,
I personally don't have
like
to do
everybody.
anything. I don't have to do anything because I'm Church
So
of
you
England,
see,
so.
religions are also meaning-carrying systems. They give meaning to people because they say, look,
Yeah,
you're going to live your life like a good person, etc. And then you're going to go to heaven. So now you have a reason to be good, to live, to serve the others, etc., to love them.
So do we think that if you didn't have the fable that says if you're good, you go to this make-believe place, people would be bad? Do you think people would just kill and steal and rape and pillage and rape the cattle and stampede the
social
people?
control.
Is that what we think?
That's all it is.
If we didn't have religions?
If we didn't have somebody saying, there's a guy in the clouds saying that if you're really good,
social control.
you get to go to the special place.
It would be anarchy.
Look, for many centuries, I think that religions, help. I mean, what I can't talk much about other religions. I don't know about Christianity. Christianity for many centuries were opposing the fear of God. So people were living by the fear that they are going to be punished and they're going to be forever in hell. You
mean the Crusades when they killed everybody? Yeah, that was fear.
Not only that, for a long time.
That was the Crusades, the Inquisition. That was all that.
Yeah,
that was them throwing out people.
If you take the history of Christianity, you will see murders, wars, and in the name of God.
Yeah, so that's my point. That's all crock of crap.
But you have to do it. I mean, what the church did, what the Catholic Church did was brilliant, of course, because they said, all right, you can do all this bad stuff. And you believe in gods, but it's not like a free pass into heaven. So you get purgatory. You get the bit that it's like one big waiting room, right? But the thing about being in the waiting room is that if you pay enough penance, where's all that money coming from? If you pay enough penance, then you can go straight to heaven. See, you don't have to worry about. That's the same as the jihadis as well. If you kill in the name of Allah, if you're a jihadi, you don't have to go. You don't have to go to the waiting room. You go straight to heaven and get your virgins.
Yeah,
virgins?
But look, no.
Happy days.
With it's like Trump. He says he's Mandela. So he's making the black he's making the black white. Yeah. So the same for many centuries.
Orange is the new black,
the Christian system, the institution was saying this: we have to kill, in the name of God.
Right.
God, Jesus and God never said that kill the others. Says love the others. But does it sound like love? Yesterday I was watching.
There's a fine line between love and hate. So you kill the ones you love.
Yeah, okay, but we cannot say that it's all arbitrary and
No. The problem though is
and
that
anything. Yesterday I was watching a guy, a priest here in Greece. Yeah. He was older one, and he was so furious because in Greece you can marry now. There's a law that the LGBT people can get married now, right? So boys can get married.
Okay.
This is unnatural. This is, and he was very, very critical about this is not normal. Even psychiatrists are saying this is not normal, etc. He's making the white black, totally other.
I honestly thought that if you read the ancient scriptures, you see that actually the Greeks made homosexuality. They made an art form out of it. It was quite normal.
Yeah, but there are people right now. Who is bigger follower in Greece with ancient Greece and patriotic, etc. Those very conservative that are against. They don't accept that Alexander the Great was a gay. but he was a gay.
He was
bisexual. Also wasn't Greek.
I read his biography. He was bisexual. He slept with women and men.
Yeah, and he wasn't Greek.
Well, okay, what? In fact, if you talk with a gay, he will say there is no bisexual. If you are doing with men, you are gay. But occasionally you may also do it with women. I mean,
he did it with Cleopatra. She's pretty hot chick.
You're just AC/DC, and that's the end of it. And it doesn't make any difference.
But you see, we are living now in a society, but it always happened that people openly, like Trump, say, "I am Mandela." He doesn't know what Mandela is and what he did and what he represents.
It's an ice cream. That's what it is.
As a meaning, right?
But here's the thing about society. So let's just go back from the day that the earth cooled. I was here. And to today. Society overall sucks. The people in society, for most of the 8 billion people, 90% of them suck. So nobody really cares. I especially don't care what society thinks or says, especially some guy with a dog collar that says gay. I don't care who marries. I don't care if 2 men want to marry, 2 women want to marry. I don't care if you want to marry, whatever. I don't care what the guy with the dog, he's no better than the 3 of us sitting here. Because what? Because he wears a dog collar?
Yeah.
It's like,
society has made it difficult, of course, because the marriage is a legal status, and that's to give people the opportunities to share their wealth, and to live same, etc. It's got nothing to do with it doesn't come out of we must be married because that's love. No, it's because society is and law is weighed against homosexual and lesbian relationships. But
I forgot
the thing is, of course, like, how angry are you guys going to be when I push the button that says goodbye for this week? How angry are you going to be?
Hey, we'll see everybody next week. Don't forget to subscribe and like. We do the rebroadcast every Tuesday morning. You can watch the rebroadcast.
The time, and I say when they are going to realize that we have crossed.
Everyone's enjoying the show.
But in any case, you see that the topics that we have, 1 hour is not enough. So maybe we will come back to these topics, because we could talk about meaning much more. And if we really want, because look, I'm not doing this show only to communicate. I mean, it is to communicate, but it's also to learn. I mean, I'm learning with you. I'm learning with people talking and writing. I'm learning and if you make a good question to me, my mind will start to, that's a good question. That's it's a meaningful question. It makes me start to think about it, and it's a good question. What's the answer to this question?
And do you know what the answer to the question is?
Wait, before you push the button, what's next week? Next week's we're going to be on meaning, or what are we doing? What's next week's show?
I don't know yet. We will see.
Okay.
I don't think it will be about meaning, but you see, we also, even in this episode, we are also talking about identity, because meaning is also a part of your identity. Because if you say, for me, meaning is to tell lies all the time that I am Mandela without knowing what I'm Mandela.
You're killing me with that one.
This characterizes you. This gives you identity, the identity of liar, and also a person who is ignorant because you don't know history, or you. But first of all,
and
liar.
Adam, do you know what my identity is? My identity is the guy
I know. Your identity is to put the button.
Who pulls the lever
before you pull the